Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to Khan Global Studies. I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening, everyone. I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening, Madhuri. Good evening, Chandresh. I guess I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening. Okay, so I welcome you all to this session. I welcome you all to this session. And in today's session, let's have a look at the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay. So the topics which we are having, the first topic which we are having here is related to this India and US deal. You may be aware about this, that recently there has been the India and US deal which has been announced. Although the details are still awaited, that what is the nature of the bill, what is the nature of this deal, and what is actual things. But we will try to see whatever update is present as of now. As of now, what is the update? We will try to see that. Second topic will be the Finance Commission and state finances. I told you last day also that we will see a comparison. We will see a comparison between the 15th Finance Commission and the 16th Finance Commission, and the implications of it also, like which state will be receiving more share and on what basis. So that will be the second part. The third thing is the places in news. There is this Rafah crossing. This places in news is there. So Rafah crossing, that is one thing which we will discuss. Then we will talk about the defense budget also, which is part of your GS paper 3. And again, some of the charts which we cannot see last day. So we will cover some of more of those charts which were there in the last session. So we will try to cover them. We will try to finish them today. But before we go into that, let us solve some questions. Let us solve some questions. The first one which we are having is, the Finance Commission is a constitutional body set up by the President for a fixed tenure of 5 years. The eligibility of the members of Finance Commission are provided in the Constitution. The recommendation of the Finance Commission are not binding on the government. So there are three statements and you have to tell which one is, how many of them are correct. The Finance Commission is a constitutional body set up by the President for a fixed tenure of 5 years. Second is saying the eligibility of members of Finance Commission are provided in the Constitution. And the third one is saying the recommendation of the Finance Commission are not binding on the government. So how many statements are correct here? How many statements given above is or are correct? Okay, so some answer says option number A and some answer is option number one answer is C option also. Now, if we look at this one question, see, I am giving you generally those questions which are related with UPSC, or I am giving you those questions which are on pattern of UPSC. It may be tough sometime, it may be easy sometime, but this is what it has to be. The Finance Commission is a constitutional body, but there is no such fixed tenure of 5 years. I think you are aware about this, that there is no fixed tenure of 5 years. So that's why this first statement is incorrect. The eligibility of the members of Finance Commission are provided in the Constitution. That is also incorrect. There is no such eligibility condition which has been provided in the Constitution for the members of Finance Commission. The third one is saying the recommendation of the Finance Commission are not binding on the government. This one part is correct. So answer here will be option number A. The answer here will be option number A, that is only one. The union budget has prescribed for a zero tax on all data centers in India. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act mandates data localization in India. So which of the following statements is or are correct? Here we have this one thing. Which of the following statements is or are correct? The union budget has prescribed for zero tax on all data centers in India. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act mandates data localization in India. Okay, good evening. B option. Maybe A, maybe B option. Now, if we look at this one option, the union budget has prescribed for zero tax on all data centers in India. This will be incorrect. It is not for all data centers. Only those data centers which are being run by a Indian reseller entity, they would be having the access to zero tax. It is not for everyone. It is for a limited group. It is for a limited group, not for everyone. The first option is incorrect here. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act mandates data localization in India. This is also not true. You may be aware, we have gone through DPDP rules. Okay, digital data protection rules. We have gone through this digital data protection rules and digital personal data protection rules, and we have seen it there that there is no such requirement that there should be data localization in India. It only says this, that the data cannot be transferred to some of the blacklisted states. So here the second option is also incorrect. The answer here will be option number D. Consider the following statements regarding biologics and biosimilar. Biosimilars are identical to biologics. Biologics are provided with patent for promoting research and innovation. Good question. What is data localization? Data localization means storing the data locally. The storing, processing of data in the country's own territory. Like if there is an Indian data, that has to be stored within India. That is data localization. C option. B option, C option. Dekho, last day I have told you about this. See, biosimilars are similar to biologics but not identical. Remember one thing, last day in the class I told you, they are similar. They are similar to biologics but not identical. There is a difference. Identical means exact copy. So I told you last day that biologics and biosimilars have a similarity, but there is some difference in the biosimilars. So it is not identical. Identical means exact copy. So it is not exact copy. It is similar to it, but with slight difference. So I told you last day also about this. So first option is incorrect. Second is correct. The answer will be option number B. So you don't have to get confused there. It is not identical. Now, coming to this today's article. So, what is blue baby syndrome? That is because of nitrate pollution. Akash Singh, that is due to nitrate pollution. Blue baby syndrome is a problem associated with excessive nitrate pollution. Now, here we have this one thing. Now, can we say that we have got a free trade deal? Can we say that we have got a comprehensive agreement same as that of European Union? The answer is no. What has been announced, what has been the update? Last night, the Donald Trump updated on his social media platform Truth that they have got a deal with India. And India also confirmed that yes, we have got a deal. But many parts of it are unclear. Many of the part of the deal are unclear. Like US is saying something else, India is saying something else. Okay. So let's look at this. What has been said under this deal? First of all, India and US bilateral trade. If we talk about this right now, India and US bilateral trade is at $131 billion. India and US bilateral trade is at $131 billion. Okay. So this is one thing. An investment in the US from India is something around $40 billion. So India is also investing in US and the trade is of near about $131 billion. Now, if we talk about this, it has been said that they are going to bring the tariff to 18% from the current 25%. Remember this one part. What has been said that there was a reciprocal tariff on India. There was a reciprocal tariff on India. Reciprocal tariff. Okay. So, can you tell me why this reciprocal tariff was there? Okay. The Sunday mock. Acha. I cannot comment on that part. Okay. So, reciprocal tariff, if we talk about this, reciprocal tariff, just see this one thing. India is also imposing some tariff. India is also imposing some tariff on this US goods which are coming in India. So US is alleging this. US has been alleging this, that India is imposing huge tariff on the US based items which are coming to India. And as a result of that, US has decided that they are also going to put a reciprocal tariff of 25% on Indian export to US. So they have proposed a reciprocal tariff of 25%. So now what they have said that this is going to be reduced to 18% from 25%. That there is going to be a reduction of 7% of tariff. There is going to be a reduction of 7% of tariff from there. Not more than that. Okay. So that is one part which has been announced. There is no clarity regarding this one part, that the 25% additional tariff, what will happen for the 25% additional tariff, that has not been made clear here. It has not been made clear that what will be for the additional 25% tariff, which is because of purchasing of Russian oil. So the details are not so much clear. Now coming to the second part, what has been said that US has said that India is going to eliminate tariff. Okay. It has been said that India is going to eliminate tariff, and it has been announced that India will provide a 0% tariff to US goods coming in India. But this has again not been confirmed by India. US has been saying this. What US has said that there will be 0% tariff. There will be 0% tariff on US goods in India. On US goods in India. Plus, India is going to invest $500 billion in United States. It has been said that India is going to invest $500 billion in United States. Now, if you look at this one part, this is something which has not been confirmed by India. So do not make any notes from this. It is what is there in the newspaper right now. Don't make notes from this as of now. If there is a concrete part of it, if there is a concrete deal, then I will tell you that you have to make notes, because you may write this today and it may change in the future. Now the third part which has been said that Bangladesh, Vietnam, Pakistan, China, they are having these tariff. Okay. The tariff which is applicable on these countries, they are like this: Bangladesh, Vietnam 20%, Pakistan 19%, China 34%. Now India is going to have a tariff of 18%. There is no clarity again. I am telling you again, there is no clarity with respect to the tariff. There is no clarity with respect to the tariff due to the purchase of Russian oil. That has not been clarified. Now see here. If you see it, there is one thing called a generalized system of preference. So many of these nations like Bangladesh, Vietnam, they are getting additional 5% compensation. Whatever tariff they are having, they are getting a 5% compensation. India is not getting that compensation. This is something which has happened in the previous era of Donald Trump. In the previous presidency of Donald Trump, India was removed from a group which is getting a generalized system of preferences. some countries are getting additional compensation, additional rebate on tariff. Earlier, India was also getting this, but in 2019, when Donald Trump was again the president of US, during that time, this clause was removed. Okay. So India is not getting that additional compensation. Some of our neighbors are receiving that. Okay. So that is another part. Third thing, the oil purchase. The third part is about the oil purchase. It has been said that India will not be purchasing any oil. India is not going to purchase any oil from Russia as per US president. Now again on this part also there has been no confirmation from such confirmation from India. Okay. The Indian government has not commented on this part also, that whether we will be purchasing oil from Russia or not. Okay. But meanwhile, there is this one question. There is this one question on Indian diplomacy. Question on Indian policy. Okay. There is this one question on Indian policy. Earlier, what we have seen this one thing, that India, we have got reduction in trade with Iran, or lesser oil from Venezuela. We have seen that earlier also there has been reduction in trade with Iran. There has also been lesser oil from Venezuela. Why? All due to US sanction threat. In the past, we have seen that a few times India has given to this sanction threat. India has reduced its purchase of oil from Iran. You may be seeing this, that India has got a Chabahar agreement way back in 2015, and 10 years later the Chabahar project is still like underdeveloped project. We have not been able to utilize that. Our relations with that of Iran has not been flourishing in the recent times. Similarly, we have not been purchasing oil from Venezuela. Why? US has been saying that no country should be purchasing the oil from Venezuela. Now we are being told that now we can purchase the oil from Venezuela. So this remains one of the tough challenge for Indian diplomacy to answer these questions, that are we going for this like bowing to what US pressure is there. Okay. So what we see, that this is one thing which we see. Now meanwhile, there is a very interesting part. There is a very interesting part which you have to see here in this article. You may have seen that in financial year 2025-26, what we have seen in the case of financial year 2025-26, what we have seen here, that like the trade between India and US, okay, no, Russia, it is Russia, we have reduced, sorry, it is Venezuela. In 2019, when US and Venezuela relations were not good, so there was a pressure that we should not be purchasing the oil from Venezuela. So we have stopped purchasing oil from Venezuela. When there was a sanction with respect to Iran, we have reduced our relation with that of Iran. So for Venezuela and Iran, we have just like done what US wants us to do. So that is one of the challenge which we see here. Now, if you look at this for financial year 2025-26, just last year, you may have seen that despite all these tariffs, the Indian export to US has grown. In fact, if you look at this, our export as percentage of overall has in fact grown. You will see this one thing, that our export has increased from 17.74 to near about 19.77. So you will see this one thing. India's export to US as part of our overall export has been growing in fact, and that too in financial year 2025. Earlier our export, like out of our total export earlier, near about 17.74% was towards US. And in the last year, financial year 25-26, what we see that there was many tariff and everything. It was a general understanding that India's export to US is going to have a massive hit. For some months, there was reduction in export. But if you look at this overall part from April to December, our export to US has in fact increased. Okay. So earlier our export was $77.51 billion. Okay. Earlier our export was $77.51 billion. Now it has increased up to $86.51 billion. Even our trade surplus has also been increasing. Okay. Like you will find that our trade surplus was initially $35 billion, and this financial year 2025-26, our trade surplus has become $40.88 billion. So in financial year 2025-26 also, you will see that there is a difference. Okay. Our total trade with US was $131 billion. In fact, our trade surplus with US has also increased. Earlier it was $35.31 billion. Now this has increased to $40.88 billion. So what we see that there has been an increase rather than decrease in our trade. There has been an increase in our export also. So this is what we have seen in the case of India's trade with United States. And of course, there is an increase in import also. But the increase in import and increase in export are quite different. The increase in export is higher, the increase in import is lower. So our trade surplus has in fact increased in the last year. So this is one thing which you can see here with respect to our trade with US. Now coming to the second part, the Finance Commission and the state finances. So let us look at the second article, the Finance Commission and the state finances. See, so there is this one news article. Last day we have seen that the Finance Commission has said this, that 41% of the devolution will be for the states. I told you also about this one thing last day, that what will be the ratio or what will be the parameters for this sharing. We are going to discuss that in the next class. So let's discuss these parameters, that what will be the criteria, what is going to be the criteria for distribution. And you can see it from here. On one side, we have the 15th Finance Commission. Here we have the 16th Finance Commission. So in the 15th Finance Commission, the income distance or the per capita gross state domestic product. Okay. What is the reason for this increase in trade with US despite this tariff war? India changed its export basket. There was a diversification in the export basket of India. Those products which were attracting tariff, their export decreased. So India had changed its stand. See, the 50% tariff was not for each and every product. It was for selected products. It was for selected sectors, mostly targeting steel and some other sector. So what India did, India focused on those items which were having lower tariff. So there was more export of those products which were having lower tariff. So that is how this is something which happened. Okay. Now, coming to this one part, income distance. Okay. So it is per capita GSDP. Basically, it is taken as how much difference is there. Basically, how do we calculate it? If a country is having, if a state is having more difference, if a state is having more difference as compared to the national per capita income. Just say, for example, suppose that India's per capita income is $10,000. Let us take an example. Just try to understand it by an example. Let's say the per capita income is, let's say, $2,000. And there are two states, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is having per capita income of, let's say, $1,800. And there is another state, let's say Telangana. Now let's say Telangana is having a per capita income of 1,200. So what you will see that Telangana is having a greater difference. Telangana is having a greater difference from this national per capita income or the average per capita income. So in order to bring equity, in order to bring equality between the states, Telangana will be given more fund as compared to Tamil Nadu. In order to bring equality between the states, Telangana will be getting more fund as compared to Tamil Nadu. Okay. So now see, earlier 45% weightage. Earlier 45% weightage was for this. Now it has been reduced. So what is the implication now? What is the meaning of this? Let's say we are taking this example. So here, what is the benefit here? Now Telangana will be getting, now Tamil Nadu will be getting more money. Telangana will be getting somewhat less money. In the 15th Finance Commission, Telangana was the winner in 15th. In 16th Finance Commission, Tamil Nadu will be winner. It means now gradually we are reducing this. Those states which have a better per capita income, those states which are having a better per capita income, now they would be receiving a higher share of this tax. So those states which are having higher per capita income, they will be receiving more share of the tax. So this is one thing which you see here in income distance. Second part which you can see is population. Earlier the factor of population was 15%, now it is 17.5%. So it means those states which are having higher population, those states which are having higher population are going to get the benefit. They are also receiving some benefit. But see, you will find it here that on one hand they are getting the loss, on one hand they are getting the benefit. So normally you will find that states with higher population have lower gross state domestic product per capita. States with higher population are having lower GDP per capita, and on one hand they are getting benefit, on other hand they are getting the loss. So there is a somewhat balance which has been created. Now see, demographic performance, it was 12.5% earlier, now it has been reduced to 10%. So what is the meaning of this demographic performance? Those states which have worked for population control, जिस स्टेट ने पॉपुलेशन को कंट्रोल करने के लिए काम किया है, earlier they were getting 12.5%, now they will be getting 10%. So those states which have worked for population control, they are not getting the benefit. Then on the basis of area, earlier it was 15%, now it is 10%. On the basis of area, earlier it was 15%, now it is 10%. On the basis of forest, earlier it was 10%, now also it is 10%. If a state is making good tax and fiscal effort, earlier they were getting 2.5%. But this year, this one criteria has been removed. Means for tax and fiscal effort, there is no contribution. Area means the state area, the area of the state, the geographical area of the state. And here, contribution to GDP. This is a major change. That now those states which are contributing more to GDP, they will be getting higher share. Those states which are contributing more to GDP, they will be getting the higher share. So that is one thing which we see here. These are the parameters. Remove this tax and fiscal effort. This is the new thing which has been introduced. Remember this one part. It can be a question in the prelims exam. Contribution to GDP has been given the weightage of 10%. This is a new part and it can be asked in the examination. There is a change in income distance also, population also, demographic performance also, area also, and contribution to GDP also. So parameters and their value have changed. The parameters and their values have changed. So this becomes one of the most important topic for the prelims 2026 and even for prelims 2027. So this will remain one of the major part for your exam. This is somewhat factual, but yes, you have to memorize this. Not only for UPSC exam, this will be crucial for all other state PCS exams also. Okay. So it will be crucial for all other state PCS exams also. So it was given that southern states will get more share. What it means? It means they will be getting somewhat more money. Let me show you the chart. Okay. Some states like Kerala is going to get a benefit of 23.74% as compared to the past. Kerala is having a benefit. Kerala is having a benefit of 23.7%. Karnataka is having a benefit of 13.27%. Andhra Pradesh is also getting benefit. Okay. So you will find that some of the states are getting more benefit. Some of the states are going to get more benefit as compared to the past. Okay. So this is one thing, how the southern states are getting more, because they are contributing to GDP more and more. Their contribution to GDP is more. The population thing is lesser, but contribution to GDP is more. So that is one factor which is helping them. Plus at the same time, even the GST per capita part has also been decreased. So that is also giving them the benefit. Benefit means they will be getting more money. Benefit is quite simple. They will be getting more money from the union government. They will get, like Kerala, as compared to the 15th Finance Commission, as compared to 15th Finance Commission, under the 16th Finance Commission, Kerala is going to get near about 23.74% more money in this financial year 2026 to 2031. तो अगले 5 साल तक केरल को इतना अधिक पैसा मिलेगा as compared to the past. Okay. So that is what we see in the case of southern states. Okay. Now, there was one of this topic in the news, Rafah crossing. This is quite famous area. Rafah crossing. So where is this Rafah crossing? If you look at this entire area of Israel, there are certain portion. There is one thing called as Erech crossing. There is this one part, upper part here, Erech crossing. Okay. This is one of the part which is connecting the Gaza to the portions of Israel. Then you will find that there is this Kerem Shalom goods crossing. So this is also connecting it to Israel. And there is this one narrow path which is connecting Gaza to Egypt. So Rafah crossing is a crossing which is connecting Gaza to Egypt. So this part has been reopened. It was closed for some time. This one crossing was closed for some time. Now it has been reopened so that people can move from Gaza Strip to Egypt. If they want to go there, then they can go through this crossing. Okay. So this Gaza Rafah border crossing, it has been reopened for a limited traffic. Okay. So you will find that only few people are going to be traveled. Okay. And no goods will be passing through. But this one road, this one area which is there, the Rafah crossing has been opened. So some people would be able to move from, this portion of Gaza to Israel. sorry, Gaza to Egypt. So that's why this Rafah crossing is there in the news. So this is a place in news which you have to be aware about. बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाना है कि हाँ क्या हो रहा है इजराइल में, क्या हो रहा है गाजा में. We don't have to go in the detail of that. We have to just see there are 3 crossings here. एक का नाम है Erez crossing. There is another one, Kerem Shalom goods crossing, and the third crossing is there which is called as Rafah crossing. तो यही 3 crossing हैं. 2 of them are connecting it to Israel and one is connecting to Egypt. The one connecting to Egypt is called as the Rafah crossing, and it has been opened again for a limited traffic, for a limited number of people. So that's why it is there in the news. देखो इस पे कई सारे क्वेश्चंस आए हुए हैं पास्ट में. There have been many questions around this area in the past also. Like see this one question in 2015. I think you can answer this one. Which one of the following countries of Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? इसमें से कौन सी कंट्री है जो मेडिटेरियन सी से नहीं लगी हुई है? सीरिया, जॉर्डन, लेबनान, इजराइल. So I think you can easily answer this. That which of these countries are not open to Mediterranean Sea? Mediterranean Sea. Which of them are not open, or which of them does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? Here are 4 options: Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, and Israel. Crossing means a narrow passage. मतलब एक रोड बना हुआ है, बैरिकेडिंग से बंद होता है. तो पीपल क्रॉस फ्रॉम वन एरिया टू अनदर एरिया. जैसे रेलवे क्रॉसिंग आपने देखा ना कि लोगों को क्रॉस करने के लिए, तो वैसे ही देयर इज अ क्रॉसिंग मींस देयर इज अ बॉर्डर. This is basically referring to a border area by which people can move from Gaza to Egypt. So that crossing was closed for some time because of the conflict going on. It was closed for some time. Now it has been opened again. Okay. Syria, बहुत सारे लोगों का आंसर A ऑप्शन है. नहीं, the correct answer is Jordan. The correct answer here is Jordan. It is not Syria. Syria is a quite larger country. आप देखोगे लेबनान के ऊपर सीरिया आके मेडिटेरेनियन को टच करता है. तो सीरिया इज वन कंट्री विच इज गोइंग टू कनेक्ट विथ मेडिटेरेनियन. अगर आप पूरा मैप देखोगे यू विल फाइंड दिस दैट सीरिया इज जस्ट अबव लेबनान. इट इज ओपनिंग. उसके बाद छोटा सा कंट्री है लेबनान, फिर यहां पे इजराइल है. जॉर्डन इज ऑन दिस साइड. जॉर्डन कंप्लीटली ब्लॉक है. तो जॉर्डन इज द वन विच इज नॉट हैविंग एक्सेस टू द मेडिटेरेनियन. Okay. Now, this is one question जिसका आंसर आपको कमेंट बॉक्स में देना है. This is one of the question which you have to answer in the comment box. ठीक है कि Mediterranean Sea is the border of which of the following country? Question same है, but I think you can give the answer. The same question was asked in 2015 and a repetition of it was there in 2017. तो इसको रिपीट किया गया था 2017 में. So you can give that answer in the comment box for this one question. Okay. तो वापस से प्ले करके उसका आंसर देना है. Okay. Now see this one thing. Post Sindoor, major boost for defense. Okay. Now, last day I told you about this, that now we see that in the defense sector there is an increased focus on capital expenditure. Last I told you that from financial year 2020 to financial year 26-27 there has been a huge change. Earlier our focus was 25% was for capital expenditure. Gradually it has been increased. Now it is approximately 30%. So let's look at the defense budget. Defense का budget क्या ये देखते हैं. It has been allocated 7.85 lakh crore rupees. This is the highest budget for any ministry of India. Ministry of Defense has got the highest budget among all the ministries. Okay. Defense Ministry has got the highest budget among all ministries. सभी ministries में highest budget इसी को मिला है. Okay. You will find that the allocation for 2% of the GDP for the next financial year. जो डिफेंस का हमारा बजट है, that is 2% of the GDP. The defense budget is 2% of the GDP. Yes, we will come to the education part also. We have to see certain charts, so we will come there also, Kumar Shamu. Okay. Now, defense spending constitutes 14.6% of the total expenditure of the union government. हमारे जीडीपी का 2% है. गवर्नमेंट जितना खर्च कर रही है, गवर्नमेंट का जो टोटल खर्चा है पूरे वर्ष का, द 14.67% ऑफ दैट एक्सपेंडिचर इज फॉर द डिफेंस सेक्टर. यानी यहां से आपको एक आइडिया भी लग जाएगा कि एवरेज एक्सपेंडिचर बाय द गवर्नमेंट इन दिस फाइनेंशियल ईयर, in this financial year is going to be something around 50 lakh crore rupees. गवर्नमेंट लगभग 50 लाख करोड़ के आसपास में खर्च करेगी. 50 लाख 52 लाख के आसपास में टोटल खर्च है गवर्नमेंट का. So this is the total expenditure of the government, and out of that near about 14.67% is for defense. Just see this one part. Capital expenditure is going to be 2.1 lakh crore as compared to 1.8 lakh in 2025-26. Okay. So this is one part. What we see, there is going to be an increase of near about 40,000 crore rupees. 40,000 crore rupees additional for purchasing of equipments. 40,000 crore रुपया extra मिलेगा for purchasing of the equipments. Then you will look at this, like this year, we see that 27.95 for capital expenditure, 20 for operational and preparedness, 26 for pay and allowance, and 3.46 for civil organization. So gradually what we see that more and more expenditure is going for capital expenditure. Okay. This one thing, one more part, a very important part, that there is 1.39 lakh crore rupees. Okay. This is for indigenization. Means the total budget, if you look at the total budget of capital expenditure, that is around 2.2 lakh crore. Out of which 1.4 lakh crore approximately is for defense procurement within India. तो जो इंडिया से सामान खरीदा जाएगा या इंडिया में सामान खरीदा जाएगा, that will be the major component for it. It means we are now no longer purchasing just from outside. हमारा जो major purchase होगा, almost 75% of the purchase that will be within the country. Okay. Again, some key takeaways. If you look at this, some key takeaways, what we see, first part is increase in expense. Okay. We see that 2% of GDP. We see that it is 2% of GDP. Near about, like you will find that now we see that 2.1 lakh crore. That is for capital expenditure. That is for capital expenditure. And what you see also here, 2.9 lakh crore is for capital expenditure and 75% is going to be indigenous procurement. Indigenous procurement. So this is one such ministry which has got the highest amount of budget among all ministries. तो सबसे ज्यादा अगर किसी को पैसा मिलता है तो that is the defense ministry. It has got a budget of like 7.85 lakh crore rupees, लगभग 8 लाख करोड़ रुपए. That is the budget of this defense ministry. Okay. So defense ministry, if you see this, okay, it has got huge amount of budget now. Okay. This is the this is the amount which is there in civil, revenue, capital and pension. You will find that right now the capital outlay is having the major part. The capital expenditure is now getting the maximum part. Okay. You can look at this. Pension Pension is also very high. It has been rising. It is more than 1,50,000 crore. Revenue expenditure, it is at 4 lakh crore. The civil expenditure, it is at 30,000 crore. Okay. So we see that even these expenditures are sufficiently high, but the capital expenditure has been growing. You can see in the last 5 years, it has been growing. बाकी भी grow कर रहे हैं, but capital expenditure is growing. That is a good part. जब हमारा capital expenditure बढ़ रहा है, means the amount of money which we are spending on defense is not going just in pension, salary and other things. We are procuring weapons, we are building infrastructures, so we are creating assets. तो ये एक पॉजिटिव पार्ट है डिफेंस बजट का. नाउ सी द अदर पोर्शन कि बाकी को कितना परसेंट मिला है. ठीक है, तो इफ यू लुक एट दिस कि हाउ अदर सेक्टर्स हैव बीन परफॉर्मिंग, we will find that in financial year 2020, this health was getting around 2.36%, but it has been coming down in the recent period. Rural development has also been getting lesser share in the recent past. Higher education has also been getting the lower part in the recent year. School education has also been receiving lower funds. Social welfare has also been getting lesser amount. Okay. So if we look at the health sector, social sector, higher education, rural development, health and all other segments, it's not very bright in these sections. The expenditure in these sectors have been reducing in the recent past. So the expenditure as part of health, rural development, higher education, school education, social welfare, they have been going slightly down. Okay. So that is also figure of these sectors. हम लोग इन sectors पे अलग से चर्चा भी करेंगे कि what is there in education, what is there in health. Health का हमने एक part देखा है कि what is there in the health sector. So we will see it separately also later on. Like defense का हमने देखा कि what has been the major focus on defense. In same manner, in this week itself, we are going to evaluate the education sector also. We will see it from the part of economic survey as well and also as part of the budget. तो मैंने आपको पहले भी बोला है कि इसके जो sector specific components है, we will be talking about it in the examination form. Okay. तो ये सभी parts हैं जो आपको देखने को मिलेंगे. ठीक है, तो that will be all. तो आज के लिए इतना ही. ठीक है, तो दैट विल बी ऑल फॉर टुडे. फिर आगे के सेशंस मिलेंगे. हाँ, देयर इज वन क्वेश्चन, व्हाई प्राइसेस ऑफ गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर फॉल डाउन सडनली. See, there are multiple factors affecting them. Multiple factors are affecting the rise and fall of gold and silver prices. ठीक है, one of the major factor is the ongoing geopolitics. जो geopolitics चल रहा है अभी, ये इसका एक मेजर रीजन है. ठीक है, you may have seen that the trust on dollar, the trust on these assets, the global currencies, forex has been decreasing. जैसे कि एग्जांपल के तौर पे देखो, Russia has got some dollar, but what US did, it says that कि नहीं, Russia cannot use dollar. They have put sanctions on them. So Russia is having some money in form of dollar, but there is a sanction on them that they cannot use it. So if people are saving the money in form of forex reserve, there is going to be a challenge. Day after tomorrow, US can impose sanction on any country. So the sanction regime which is going on or which is being carried out by US is going to significantly impact the trust on dollar or even other global currencies. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा कि in the recent times, the central banks of many of the country, including India, has been purchasing huge amount of gold, silver and other like bullions. So that is one part. There is also another chain. There is also one part that the supply chain. There may be supply chain disruption. Plus silver. Silver is something which is being in demand in excessive, like it is being demanded. So that is also reason. व्हाट इज द स्टेटस ऑफ ईरान प्रोटेस्ट, क्यों ध्यान देंगे हम लोग ईरान के प्रोटेस्ट पे, वाई वी वुड फोकस ऑन ईरान प्रोटेस्ट, इंडिया पे कुछ इंपैक्ट होगा तभी देखेंगे। तो इट्स नॉट दैट मच इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस राइट नाउ, तो मैं सभी न्यूज नहीं देखता। तो थैंक यू सो मच, ऑल द बेस्ट, let's meet in the next session and then we will talk about the remaining things. Thank you, take care, good night.